Well, today I've got a set of globals that I have to sharpen. I thought I might just run a video and see if anybody's interested in watching to see how I do it. There's a couple of things you need to know. First of all, globals are very hard steel. I'm not quite sure exactly what they're made of, but they're extremely hard. And I know this even from personal experience because they will smooth a roughened wheel just by themselves. And once I decided to take it easy on a global and try and sharpen it with just the smooth setting, and it took over an hour because it just kept getting smoother and smoother and smoother and wasn't taking anything off. So I sharpen these at 28 degrees now, which is, you know, a little bit sharp, but they're fine. I start off by roughening the wheel up with my 80 grit diamond plate, making sure it's nice and rough. Check the water first. It doesn't take much. Maybe leave it on for 10-15 seconds. Using the diamond plates has the effect of making sure the wheel is still flat. Keeps it nice and flat is what I mean. So I can feel that those grains have been raised. And safety first. Don't want to get caught up in all this. So I'll begin. Tip first. I anchor the rest, make sure that I'm straight on here and flat, and straight into it. There's a slight pause on the end to make sure that it gets full grinding. Then this side. Nice. Now I noticed this one had a very small chip just near the tip there, but hopefully the grinding will take care of that. Check for burr. I've already got a burr, so that wasn't too far from sharp. Run it a few more times just to make sure I get rid of that chip on the top, on the tip. Let's have a look here. Yep, that looks great. Looks a bit wider on this side than that side, and that can be not because I'm uneven here, but because it may have been crooked when I start. Doing one side and the other side evenly only works when it starts even. If it's overground on one side when I get it, then doing alternating sides only exacerbates that problem. So it's always good to check the bevel, and you'll see. You just use your engineer's eye. If it looks fatter on one side, it is. And so this looks fatter on the first side, so I might run 2 passes on this side. Yep. Check again. that looks perfect. So then I'll smooth the wheel down with my 320, which takes it to about 1000 grit, or 960 to be specific. If you use the formula, 3 times the grit of the diamond card equals the final grit on the wheel. All those grains are gone, and it should sound a bit quieter as well. Couple of passes at least. Check the tip to make sure it's even on both sides, which it is. That should be fine. Still got a good burr. It's definitely there. Now I'm going to run it gently. Actually, I think it still needs a bit more on this side. Run it a reasonably slow pass to make sure that it's nice and even. Sometimes the water reflects and it doesn't give you a good view. No, that definitely looks even now. Oh, maybe a little bit more on the curve. It's often easy to go too fast on this curve, and for reasons that I won't go into right now, you've got to slow down on the curves because they receive less grinding than the flat. The flat experiences the full width of the wheel and gets more grinding than a corner or a tip, which only experiences a small section of the wheel. There you go, I explained it anyway. That looks great now. I'll give it a light polish or dehone. I'll put a little bit of green on. Not too much, doesn't need very much. Using a light touch, you really only want to work that burr. You don't want to resharpen it. One of the things I was doing wrong earlier days was over honing. Because on the Tormek videos they say you should spend as much time honing as you do grinding. And I find that to be untrue and unhelpful. That's just my experience. After a couple of light passes, I'll check for the burr. I can still feel a few rough spots. Still a few spots on there. And it's better to over check and under hone than it is to over hone. I am aiming for a super smooth against the nail, but of course over honed edge will also give you super smooth. So it's best to creep up on it. That's dead smooth. Wipe it off. And that should be sharp and ready to go. We'll test it on the bench. Go straight for the finest test. Nice. A few little rough bits there, so I might give it a quick hone. A strop, I mean, using light strokes in the direction of the grind, which is straight, not going across, going straight down. Alright, see how that goes. Wipe off any wax. See if that improved it. Absolutely did. Nice. That's how I do a global knife. I hope that helped you.